Hi everyone, this is Heather Lottenden from the Flourish.Academy. This is episode 263, and today we're talking about focusing. And the reason we're talking about this is because yesterday I was working with a mentoring client and a good friend, and she has the D750, and she said to me, Heather, occasionally, always seems to happen during crucial moments, I'm trying to take a photo and the camera will not focus. Hi Susie, hi. She's talking about focus points, focus issues, focus mode. We were talking about all of these things. But as she was describing to me the scenario, I thought to myself, doesn't that always seem like it's the case? Your camera won't focus during the most crucial time. For me, that's the bride walking down the aisle. Either processional or recessional, I have to get that photo. And it always seems like that's when I experience issues, or at least that's how I perceive it. But the reality is I'm probably just flustered at that moment and I can't think clearly. So if you've ever gone to take a photo of an object and the camera has not focused, there are a couple of things I want you to check. Number one, are you too close? All lenses have a minimum focus distance. That's how close you can actually physically have the lens in front of your subject. So right now I have the 50 millimeter. I don't know the exact minimum focus distance on this lens. I want to say it's probably around 12 inches. That would be about a foot. I know for the 70 to 200 it's around 4 feet, so that's pretty significant. So sometimes if your lens is too close to the subject, it won't focus. Another thing that can occur is your focus point could be on an area that lacks contrast, and the camera needs to grab an edge. So if you're taking a photo and you are picking the focus point, you have the focus point, single focus point, and you place that focus point, let's say you're taking a portrait, a close-up shot of someone's face, obviously you would put the focus point on their eyes or one of their eyes. But as you back away, you might not be able to put the focus point there, so you would put it on their face, presumably. But what if you were really far away and you were just kind of aiming at them and the focus point maybe was on their shirt or their face? Well, if that focus point, say, was on a cheek or a black shirt or a white shirt or anything that's flat, the camera will never be able to focus. It will all day long because there's no area of contrast. An area of contrast, think of it like this, is like a line between something. So I have a neckline. That would be a good place to focus if you were far away and you were unable to focus on my face. Of course you want to put the focus point on the subject or the object that you want to focus on. But if you're really far away, you have to be careful that that focus point is not hitting an area that lacks contrast. Hello, Aunt Cynthia. Yes, Marianne Chicken is right in front of me and being disruptive. Forgive me. This is so professional. Anyway, I'm sure you've had this issue. If you've had this issue, could you please let me know? Have you ever gone to take a photo and it didn't focus? And if you solved the problem, post the solution as well, because that helps other people. Now, this friend that I was working with yesterday is very well versed in her camera. She knows what she's doing, but she had never thought about the area of contrast. That is, if you put a focus point on a bride's dress and it's all white and there's not a lot of detail, the camera will never be able to focus because there's not a line, there's not an area of contrast. When you're doing macro photography or you're photographing rings, as I do for weddings, you have to put the focus point on a prong, not the diamond. If you try to put the focus point on the diamond, which is glass, the camera will struggle to focus. But if you put it on a prong, it will grab it because there's a line, there's an area of contrast. I know a lot of photographers, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. I know some photographers use manual focus when they're doing ring shots or any kind of macro photography. I'm just not that good. I have to use the autofocus. So in order for me to get that, I just have to make sure that that focus point is on a prong. Now, another thing she had going on with her camera was she said to me, Heather, how come when I take a photo, let me get a focus on something. Anything, focus on anything. There we go. Why when I take a photo, it takes 10? She didn't realize that she had bumped this. So you see how that's on CH, that's continuous high. Right next to it, you see CL, that's continuous low. simply put her back into single, which is when you press the shutter, you get one image, and she was all set. So we fixed her focus issues and we fixed her rapid firing. Another thing with focus, if your camera isn't focusing, make sure you check the switch on your lens. Make sure you check your focus mode, that maybe you accidentally bumped it into manual versus autofocus. So those are all things, kind of a checklist that you can go through in order to make sure that your lens will focus properly. Now, if after all of that, your camera or lens does not focus, I would try a different lens. So you can start to troubleshoot, okay, is it the camera body or is it the lens? Well, if this lens won't focus and I put another lens on and it does focus, then it's obviously the lens. But if I put another lens on and it doesn't focus, then maybe something is up with the camera or I need to check something else out. So make sure that you check all of those settings. I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention around focus, but this chicken is just... He looked right at me and crowed. I need to get control of this homestead, you guys. If I think of the other thing I wanted to talk about in regards to focus, I'll jump back on here. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.